and we're recording, but this is kind of the bullshit part where we just kind of like where the logo's up and we shoot the shit. How's everybody feeling tonight?
Yeah,
pretty good.
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 Who's sticking around after for couch co-op?
What are we talking about?
Video games?
Any particular video game or any particular like?
It'll be a
Just
shoot the shit
whatever.
episard.
Oh, I'll stay around for that.
Anyway.
Might have
Hang
to
on
take a
for a
break
while.
between the two just to grab a beer.
Yeah. All
I'm
right, let's
already
get to
heavy
it.
on that one.
Let me turn off the logo here. Oh, welcome to Couch Co-op. I'm Ian. I got Jared, Dave, and Aaron with me in tow.
Howdy.
Looking forward to this
Hey,
beer.
buddy.
And we're going to drink some beers, or a beer, maybe multiple of the same beer.
Yeah.
But we will be drinking
Right.
Full Sail Hazy IPA, Hood River Hazy IPA. And
That's right.
I think it's relatively new, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's only been around for maybe a year.
Yeah.
I was looking, and it's not actually a seasonal or anything. It's now in the year-round draft.
Well, before we get into talking and everything, let's pop our cans and taste it. Let us go.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Rotating the hazy can before the pop.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that, of course. The graphic design. Even Jared was talking when he came over to pick up a couple cans. He was like, he loves the can. I was like, I love the graphic design of the new design that Full Sail has done.
They did a really good job at making it look all fancy, like all new.
And
I
if
like
you,
what they did with that.
and then if you
Yeah,
look
it's
at their
great.
other beers, it's like a uniform across all the different types.
I like the,
It's
you
just
know, they
different
made
colors, yeah.
the sail more bold.
Right.
I mean,
I like
that's
the
the old
fact-
logo and everything. I
Well,
mean,
First, I don't know if you guys rolled yours or not, but the first thing I noticed is I've got quite a bit of sediment in the bottom of mine. You may have left it in the can
Yeah,
if you didn't roll it.
I did. I did.
or
I was gonna bring it.
unless you're Aaron and you're just drinking it from the can anyway.
Or you're Ian and
Straight up.
you poured 2 cans, so you have clear sediment and then clear. So
okay.
it's mixed quite.
Anyway, the first thing about this beer is it's got a lovely smell.
Yeah,
yeah,
it does smell really good.
Aromatic.
Like very citrusy and just refreshing.
It's kind of got that perfect color too, like that color you expect from a hazy, like a very nice uniform.
Yeah.
It's not too shimmery. It doesn't look actually like orange juice, like the first few hazies that I was introduced to.
Right.
Good head on pour.
I agree.
Oh, that's
All I
delicious.
know is, oh yeah, very tasty.
And it's 6% alcohol by volume.
Kind
so
of
it's not
average,
like,
isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
a bit less than an IPA. Like a traditional IPA might be 6.5, 7. So
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah, they-
hazies exist in that 6, maybe 6.4.
usually a little
Yeah.
lower. And it's got a lovely kind of lacy head on it as well.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's
really
from
good.
obviously we've mentioned it earlier. It's from Full Sail Brewing, Full Sail, Hood River, Oregon. A lot of us in this group are very familiar with Hood River and Full Sail.
What's surprising about Hood River is it's such a little town. It's like a wide spot on the road almost. But it's also home to
really
Frem
is.
and Double Mountain.
And
It's
HRD.
very-
And HRD, really. I mean, it's
Oh,
an
yeah.
alcohol
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is
it
quite
is.
surprising.
It really
'cause
is.
Really, it's not a very big town. It's not a big
I
place.
didn't realize Frem was from there, but that's a different
I
beer,
wonder if they are
different
from
day.
there or maybe they're from Bend. But they definitely have a pub there.
And then Full
Okay.
Sail owns Session, because Session wasn't
Yeah.
originally.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's where they brew Session now. So, and they've had that for quite a long time. But, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
that's like their lager high in a sense.
So I'm gonna start this, and this is maybe something we can kind of start in the episodes. The reason I chose this beer and we're gonna rotate. Jared's picks next week, and we'll rotate. But I chose this week's beer, and one of the reasons I chose it is like I was in the store one day and I noticed that Full Sail had changed their brand. I had never really drank a lot of. I mean, I had Full Sail beers at friends' houses or something, but I've never like
Yeah.
purchased Full Sail beers, and I noticed that their branding had completely changed, and it just caught my eye, and I thought it was super cool. Like this particular hazy. I mean, the Hazy IPA, it's like in light blue, and then the Sail's light blue. So if you get the amber, the name is in amber color, and then the Sail's amber. So like each can is distinguished differently by the beer flavor, but then
Right.
it still looks the same. And that, as a design arty guy, I just caught my eye, and so it's like, oh, okay, I'll buy their beer, and I was just kind of blown away by it. I was just kind of like, I don't really drink Full Sail, and I was just kind of like, well, let's check it out. Because I do my other Milkman drinks a beer, and I'll do these beers. And I just thought, man, the guys love hazies. I think they should really check this one out. I think this is a great beer.
It's a very good example of the style, and I know what you mean about the can.
Okay.
It's kind of got that same as the last year's beer, pub beer. It's that like very simple or very clean design.
Right.
And
Not
to the
crazy or wild.
Yeah, and I must admit, I think I stayed away from Full Sail because I kind of associated them with being more of a lager and pilsner type brewery
Right.
than an IPA. You know, their amber ale's good. I've had that, but their IPAs I never, I'd had them, but there was always something a bit shinier that I always wanted.
I just never really
they
gave them
have
any
a really
credit.
good-
No.
Go ahead, Aaron. Sorry.
Well, they have a really good. The green one is a Northwestern IPA. It's actually really good. It's kind of an entry level into the IPA arena if you never drank one before, but it's definitely worth giving a try now that look like they've completely overhauled their brand and have new ones they keep adding in. Plus some of the oldie but goodie ones like their Imperial Stouts and Porters.
Yeah, I might say that like of all the mass-produced hazies that you can get, if this is going to be an all year round in the 6-pack and it's regular IPA price, it's definitely spot on.
Yeah.
So how long has Full Sail been doing cans though? Like I was looking for bottles when I was looking at the store shelves. I didn't see cans or bottles anywhere.
So this is a funny one. I don't know about the variety pack. I know the variety pack comes in what looks like a bottle box, but I know that Ninkasi sometimes puts cans in their bottle box.
Oh, weird.
But
yeah, I've seen that with Ninkasi where they'll put a few free cans.
But I'm
in the rest of the
guessing
bottles.
they do bottles of everything. But the only bottles I've seen like in a 6-pack are the amber.
Yeah,
I
think it's new since the redesign, which probably only a year or two.
Yeah, so they have I believe they have can variety packs too. I've seen them in some stores, but not very often. But this is very new. This is last year, pretty much like Ian said. It's definitely a new thing for them, and I'm hoping they keep going with it because I like canned beer sometimes better than bottled beer. And this is definitely the example of a canned beer better than a bottled beer.
And that's through the aluminum shortage and all that stuff. So I bet production has been a joy through that. So hopefully it's not an ongoing issue. I'm sure that's been sorted out a bit.
So the only problem with this beer that I can see, I only got one of them from the fridge, and to get another, I'd have to leave the podcast.
Well, that's
fine. Oh man, we'll give you the time.
We can talk. But I did have a question for Dave really quickly. Like you did read about it, and I'm trying to glance over, but like, are all of you kind of in the same place with me? Like about Full Sail, like we kind of just ride it off because it's in the area, but like it's kind of a beer we've had, but not a beer we've ever focused on, like personally. Like,
I think,
has there ever been a beer you guys have drank from them consistently, or are we all in the same agreement that it's like, nah, I'll pass, go get something else?
No, I think part of it is they've been around. I've lived here now for getting on for 17 years, and they've been around since 1987, so they're kind of part of the furniture. They're kind of like Widmer. You forget sometimes how good some of their beers are. And I think the other thing is they only have like one seasonal, and it's not always carried everywhere. And the only seasonal I can think of theirs is Full Sail does the wassail, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, Yeah, they do wassail. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's only the winter.
None of the other seasonals have been, again, I'm
Right.
not a big lager and pilsner drinker as well, and I think they have, or at least when I first got here, I always associated them with having, they were at the forefront of the kind of lager pilsner, Germanic style kind of revolution.
Right.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's not just a I mean, are they independent? Are they still in control of themselves? Yep. Or are they owned by somebody else?
No, I believe they're still independent. They may have, they may be like 30-40%, owned or some infusion from somewhere, but
because I know we were distribution.
I know we were some of you guys were having trouble finding it. And I don't have trouble finding it, but like you guys were having trouble finding it in some of your areas. I don't know.
Well, I could find the IPA and the pale ale. It was just the hazy, and
anywhere.
Thinking back about it, it might just have been I was looking for bottles like Jared, because some stores segregate the cans from the bottles, and when I went to Safeway, I went in there and I didn't see it, and I was like, oh man, it's not there. And then I looked in the can section just on a whim, and there it was.
Well, it's interesting too. A lot of the craft breweries when in the section that's craft, like most of that stuff is cans.
Mm-hmm.
Like at that point, like it's so maybe they're just like playing to that market a little bit because not a lot of those guys do bottles,
Yeah, I think the stigma about cans has disappeared a little. It's always seen as a kind of a lower market, mass-produced, cheaper beer, and now it's not.
So what do you guys just think of let's like talk about the actual beer. Let's start with Jared. What do you think of the beer? What do you take from it?
I'm really enjoying it. It has that nice citrusy flavor to it, and it does have a teeny little bit of that alcohol bite that you like. It's just right on the top of the tongue, but it doesn't really sink in that it's it's 6%, so it's not really going to hit you, but it's refreshing. I could see drinking a whole bunch of this during summer.
Right. How about you, Dave?
I agree.
I think it's a perfect example of what I like about hazy IPAs. And hazy IPA is such a weird category anyway, but because sometimes they call them juicy, sometimes they call them hazy, but it can mean all sorts of stuff. But this is what I want in it. It's like citrusy, refreshing, like Jared said, a little bit of the alcohol bite, and just a good solid beer with a nice bit of body as well. So you've drunk
for sure. I agree with the body for sure.
The back end of it, after you haven't been drinking for a while, has a little bit of that hop flavor left on your tongue, but it's mild enough where it's actually like very, very pleasant.
Right.
Oh, it's got good burp.
It has the Dave's burp of approval.
Yeah, how about you? That's going to be my review criteria. Does it have a good burp?
How about you, Aaron? You want something you want to add that's different than that, or?
So I will admit, I love what they did with it. They completely Full Sail just literally said, okay, what are we going to do to compete with every single hazy? They kind of made this a complete standout, honestly. It's just has a good body, like what Jared said, has a good finish, like what he said as well. But what really makes it interesting is, like what Dave said also, you could just literally drink these just drink this and be okay.
Like, honestly. I wouldn't know that it's 6%. Like, it doesn't. I mean, it might have a little alcohol bite, but it doesn't like taste like a 6% beer. It tastes, tastes like a High Life
balanced,
bite.
Which is what a good IPA should. I mean, it's balanced between the hoppiness and the body. Also helps with the alcohol. Not hiding it, but it helps balance that alcohol out.
Do you think it being Full Sail counteracts it? Like it's a company that. I mean, it sucks too. If they're if they're still kind of independent, that's like they're a company that should deserve more respect than some of these other companies. I'll throw out 10 Barrel that's owned by a huge corporation, or like if Full Sail is more like Deschutes, right?
Yeah.
These are companies that deserve us supporting their beers versus companies that are independent companies that sold to bigger companies and are being made. You know what I mean? It feels like.
So
Go ahead, Aaron.
I'm not sure if it's a fully independent company because so I remember a few years back they mentioned this little thing for advertisement. It has like if it has a little upside down bottle on the label somewhere, if that means independent. But I don't. I think they're part of a CBA or something. The
Let
one
me
that's
see.
not owned by
I'll Google it.
Anheuser-Busch. Well, I
Yeah,
just
but
don't. I don't remember seeing that bottle thing on there.
I'm glad
I
that
could
they're
be
trying to
wrong.
rebrand with their art. I think that'll bring a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
back in because I don't know. There's so many cans and bottles out there nowadays. So many different breweries, and they're all trying their wild, crazy art on some of these cans, and they go with this
Right.
sleek, pretty great looking can. I actually like this pastel blue color that they have. If I did see it on the shelf, it would be one that I would actually pay attention to.
Right. Well, it's like some like you said, some of those cans that go a little over the top. Like I had one over the holiday. It was like the wildest thing. It looked like a Van Gogh painting, but it was like something called pyrokinesis. It was really good, but it was just like okay. If I didn't read what it was, I would assume it's just someone painted a can. That's just a bit too much. But this actually like says what it is, says how much it's on there, and does a little more with it, and that's really all it does. That's perfect for me because I don't want too much going on. It's like, do I want to drink it and throw it away? Do I want to drink it and save the can?
I
I don't
must
like
admit
saving
that's
cans.
the one thought. That's the one thing I do like. That, and this is just the brewer in me. I do like to know what hops are in my beer. I always like to see a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit with like, ingredients, two-row malt, oats, and whatever the hops are. But that's just me.
that is pretty
I
cool.
have information.
Okie dokie.
So, Full Sail. Uh, Full Sail became employee owned in July 1999 through an employee stock ownership plan with 47 employees.
Okay,
That's where they were.
okay.
In March 2015, the employees voted to sell to Oregon Craft Brewers Company, a local investment
Oh,
group formed by San Francisco-based private equity firm. So Encore Consumer Capital is who owns them, but there's no
they're
other.
semi.
It's like not like one of the big. Like it's an independent. It's like a. It's not like a
It's
big.
not Anheuser-Busch or
No,
Sapporo.
it's none of those
Okay,
guys. It's like a different thing
so it's
altogether. So I
It
still
seems like
feel
it's just
so it's like
money to
semi-independent.
keep them together.
it
I
feels
mean,
like a
it
very
doesn't
Oregon
seem.
independent. Like we decided to choose this route of being independent from other breweries, but we do get money from some other places. So, you know, it's
Okay,
you look at other breweries that have sold out to big places. They didn't
right.
do that.
So yeah, they're semi-independent in a sense. Like they their own entity, but they get money just in case they need
Yep.
or when they need it.
And
That's
and so off the top of my head, I can only think of one hazy that I prefer more than this, and
ooh.
that's more of a seasonal one. So, and I won't mention it, but I think, but so that's and it's not profuse juice, just in case you were thinking.
No, I wasn't thinking that because you said seasonal.
No.
Yeah, it may be a
Yeah.
seasonal. I don't know whether it's going to become a permanent one, but
So on their website they say you want hazy, we got hazy, super juicy and drinkable, everything you want in this style. 2-row pale malt along with generous additions of oats and wheat create the golden backbone of this beer. Our hazy yeast strain then goes to work with massive additions of Azaka, Mosaic, and Amarillo hops to create the
oh yeah.
ripe, juicy flavors that hazy
Mm.
lovers are looking for. 6.0% ABV, 35 IBUS, and you can get it year-round.
I'm okay
So
with that.
It's like
I
it takes
have
the
to
summer all
admit,
year round.
I have a soft spot for beer cans, beer bottles that have that information on the back of the can.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I
love
wish they
reading the
did that.
paragraph on the back of the can. It's nice. I like
Yeah,
that.
I feel it helps you as a beer, not a beer connoisseur, but it's like it helps you to get
It
an
helps to
idea of
understand your beer.
what like hop flavors you like and what you dislike.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because some hops are very floral, some are very citrusy, and there's all sorts of bits in between, and
But I feel like
that's
this
where
one
the
has a good
magic comes
mix
in.
of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. Well, most
So
speaking of someone who's brewed a hazy, it's just basically you put a load of hops in at the start to get you that kind of bitterness, but not that much, and then most of the hops go in at the very end, and that's what gives it that lovely big aroma, because the aroma boils off otherwise.
Yeah. Well, just a few years ago, like I swear, every new micro that you saw shoved in your face exactly what hop was in there that was popular at the time. But that doesn't seem to be really a thing anymore.
I don't think
here's your beer,
like the store-bought ones, but I feel like you still get that with like the like if you were to get like something from like Trapdoor, let's say, it'll say the hops that are in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, yeah, Trapdoor would this wouldn't be out of place in the Trapdoor hazy lineup.
Oh, I think
there is something.
Here's
about
the thing.
I still,
it's funny. I had Paul over yesterday, and I was telling him how awesome Full Sail Hazy was, and he drank it, and he thought it was really good. But we had a conversation. It's like he and I, hands down, don't think there's any greater brewer of hazies than Trapdoor. That's my.
I will give you that.
Me and Paul's personal opinion, but
hazy, but this would. But what I'm saying is, this would stand its own. It would.
Oh yeah, it stands. You could drink. Oh, for sure. It's just a really great beer, and this is why I wanted to showcase it. That's why. I mean, I'm not even a huge hazy IPA. It's just like I just want to get this beer out there. I'm like, hey, this is a really good choice. It's fairly new. I was looking at the awards. On the one side, Full Sail has won a shit ton of awards. We don't need to get into that. But this particular beer, since it's fairly new, has already won one award. It got Beverage Testing Institute Gold 2020. So it's like, it's already award-winning beer. But
yeah, that's great.
I don't know what I don't know what the beer award level is. I don't know if there's any.
Right.
It's just a bunch of guys like us. We could give it the Couch Co-op Gold Award. You know what I mean? And it'd probably be the same stupid shit. It's like no different.
I do wonder sometimes about beer awards, because it's like it must be really, because everything's categorized. So if you enter like certain categories, you're probably not going to get that much competition. Whereas if you enter if you enter in the hazy IPA category, it's quite a hot category right now. So I imagine, it's a pretty good result to come, win the award.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're entering, I don't know, like some not generic, but like some porter category, that, that's a well-defined style, and people aren't introducing a lot of new porters every year, compared to like IPAs where it's like there's a new one every week.
It's interesting because, like, Dave, you were talking about you're not a Pilsner or lager guy. That is the guy who I am. And so when it comes to IPAs and hazies, I'm just like, I can easily filter through while you, like Jared likes the porters and the sours, but, like, I feel like Aaron and Dave are kind of in the line of, like, IPAs and more so hazies and IPAs. That's just kind of my general... It's probably totally wrong, but that's my general.
No, that's about right. But
idea.
I do have a big.
No, I know everyone likes
down my back.
Right.
Stout.
Everyone likes the beers, but I'm just like kind of if I were to segregate us a little bit. So like when I drink a hazy or an IPA, I feel like I easily cut through it. Like I'm just like nah, that one's blech. And this one's and then like so like when I drink certain ones, I'm just like meh, and then this one for some reason just hit me like. Man, I really like this one. Full Sail, huh? And that was kind of my ending statement. We should probably wrap this up. That was my ending statement. That was like, I like this one. This is a really good beer. Why don't more people drink this beer? So I don't know if
cheers to that.
If anyone else has any other statements they want to end with.
I think this is a gateway beer, and I'll have to buy the sampler pack to revisit this brewery because if this one's this good, I think it's definitely worth a visit.
I think Jared bought the amber, didn't you?
No, I did not.
I thought you did way back.
Did you just buy the hazy?
Oh, a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, I've had Full Sail amber, but it's been quite a long time.
I think that amber's really
solid. It is good. I do like an amber, but it's a beer that was popular a long time ago that was left kind of by the wayside. There's Fat Tire, Widmer, and Full Sail. All three had really popular ones,
like amber and
but
pale
nobody
ale.
talks about them.
Kind of gone out of fashion almost in some.
Yeah.
Not with me.
Fat Tire's dying.
That's a
Yeah,
great
well,
beer.
come on, bring back Weinhard's Blue Boar.
All right.
Oh yeah, bring it back.
Never.
Bring it back.
Nah, I'm all right.
But my
No,
closing
I'm
statement
not.
with this beer is that it'll sneak up on you quickly. Just be careful.
It is.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's 6%. It still sneak up on you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It's a sneaky
it's
skipper.
such an easy drinker. It's going to sneak up on you if you just
Well,
you know,
I've got
throwing
5
them back
more
real quick.
soldiers who are going to die on this hill tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can hear it over at Couch Co-op.
Right.
Anyway, Aaron, what do you got closing on this beer? Were you surprised by it? I mean, like, what were you expecting? Or
So I'm gonna be honest with you. Before this episode, like, gosh, you were talking about it in the Twitch, and I bought a 6-pack to see what the hoopla was about it, and I tried. I was bummed when it was all gone, and then you wanted to do it again. And I'm like, oh boy, I actually get to try it again, and it's definitely amazing. I don't regret buying 1 can, but I cannot wait to get the next 6-pack. That's all I'm gonna say. Well, it's really
Hilarious.
good. I mean, it's definitely really good. I
So-
definitely would keep going with it.
Yeah, hopefully it becomes easier to find.
yeah, right.
Yep.
I think that's the other
Right.
thing we're trying to bring notice. Anyway, we're trying to bring notice to it, and maybe people will find it. Before we get into doing our ratings up, I feel like we should only do up, mediocre, or bad. We shouldn't do what I do on my show. I do the thing, but I think we should do like we like it
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
Okay,
I agree.
Okay.
Deal.
So let us review this beer. Where are we at on this beer? Let's review it. I'm gonna
Same
give
as
it.
last week.
I'm gonna give it. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up.
The
Yeah.
hops up.
In fact, this is my go to the store, and the other hazy I'm talking about, it would be like, Doug.
It's
you are not
whether
it.
one has it or not. Like, oh, you don't
With-
have it this week? Oh, I'll get this one instead.
Which one's on sale?
Yeah, which one's on sale?
Right.
And
True,
and
that's
the funny thing about that on Safeway, this one's been on sale for like ever. Every time I walk in,
It
it's
really
like
has, yeah.
$9.99.
Okay.
So
Cool.
like it's like super, like they're just pushing it right now. So
Yeah, they're trying to crank it. Yeah.
good job, Full Sail. Thanks for making a beer we all really
Yeah.
like. And
Beautiful
before we go
beer.
out of here, we gotta Jared. Next week, what beer are we drinking next week?
Pelican's Kiwanda Cream Ale.
That is what
Ooh,
we are
yay.
drinking. I've never had this beer.
It's so good. I love it. You can buy it in 22s and 6-packs. And, I saw my local Kroger store had single bottles laying around.
Safeway has it in a 12-pack can case.
Yes,
What?
That you
Yes.
can.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone must really
12
like
packs,
this.
and then they have a.
Yeah.
I think they have a
Okay.
12-pack of the tall boys too.
Oh, really?
And yes, that's another
I
Oregon
think so, I
brewery.
can't remember.
Yeah, we're gonna have to at some point get outside of Oregon, but
Yeah, we need some Washington beers.
Well,
who's
What's
next?
what's
It's
that?
it's a Jared, Dave, and then Aaron. Is that's what the circle's going? Is that what we decided?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, so
happy
Dave,
to-
you got to find a beer eventually. Anyway, close.
Yeah, I have some really good choices, but right now they're probably not. It will be when we get back together. I've got some real special beer coming in for the podcast.
Awesome. And then
Awesome.
also we're
Ooh, be the
trying
world's
to get
greatest
our
beer.
friend Ryan. He wants to be a member of the show, but he works sometimes weird, but he really wants to be a part of the show. So we might have an on and again, off again 5th member all the time. So we'll see.
That's
But,
all right by me.
Until he commits, we're not going to let him pick beers.
Solid.
All right, boys. This is the Couch Co-op Show. We are at, you can find us at the Couch Co-op Show at gmail.com if you want to leave us an email. And you can also find us on Twitter at couch-hop. Such a random thing they gave us, but at couch-hop. And yeah, you can leave us information. And I'm having a lot of fun doing these episodes, guys. I think this is fun.
Let's keep doing it.
Same.
All right,
Yep.
let's get out of here. Logo.
All right.
All right.
Logo.
Drink responsibly, y'all.
Drink responsibly.
Yep.
Drink responsibly, people.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
that's
don't
not.
spill
That's
it.
the wrong. That's the wrong show.
Yeah, we're still waiting for Dave to write us a jingle.